Hello everyone, Spider-Man 1981, back. Time to do the comic review of the week. Okay, this is going to be a really long review. I'm going to have to break it up into different parts. So, here it goes. We'll kick it off with my only Marvel title, Amazing Spider-Man 602. Alright, this is Amazing Spider-Man 602. This is a variant cover, so if you like it, I'm afraid limited supply. It was made to celebrate Marvel's 70th anniversary. So, yeah. Alright, let's start off where we open up. We open up with Peter Parker, previously with Peter Parker, then a bunch of facts about terrorist attacks and how security became heightened and stuff. Then we lead to a man being kidnapped somewhere. Someone's mimicking his voice, trying to copy him. And it's revealed to be none other than the Chameleon, who's wearing who instead of, usually wore that big white helmet, he now wears a huge white mask, which kind of creeps me out which is really more creepy. And he shoots some plaster gun at the guy as hostage and makes a mask into that exact mold and drops him in acid. Obviously, to steal his identity. Meanwhile, Spider-Man is chasing after Slide. Then it's revealed that this Slide isn't the original one. He was dead, and now he's a cop, and it's actually a cop. And all of a sudden, Mandroids come out with NYPD decals out to arrest Spider-Man. Spidey gets away, and thinks to himself. Obviously, realizes that that Mary Jameson has obviously bought an old S.H.I.E.L.D. junk surplus. So now Peter has a job interview at City Hall where he goes in that apparently I think Jonah Sr. set up with his son since, he married Aunt May, and they're all one big happy family. So, and now it's revealed that Gloria Grant is head of the press release team, and Peter's working to get a spot on the photo unit, who Jonah reluctantly hires. Meanwhile, after Gloria and Peter leave the office, Gloria gives Peter a stern look, saying that to stop being a clown, and that this has to be one of the things he has to take seriously, because Jonah's trying to do a good job as mayor. Peter's walking out, and all of a sudden, classic Spidey sense goes off. Looks around, tries to see who's going to attack him. Then it's one of those mimes who's dressed up like a statue, in this case, Statue of Liberty, attacks Peter. He goes into an ambulance, which is revealed to be driven by a bunch of androids. And it's revealed that the person in the Lady Liberty outfit is none other than the Chameleon with the bomb, since, he's basically a terrorist. And then, at the Coffee Bean, Harry's cleaning up, and Mary Jane comes in to catch up with him. And then eventually she goes off looking for the ladies' room, and then she gets a glimpse into Harry in the manager's office and realizes that Harry's living in there now. Then the Chameleon, is trying to imitate Peter's voice and take his identity, squirts him, makes him a mold mask, and then MJ calls. He answers it, mimicking Peter's voice perfectly, and the acid chair that Peter was in is empty. Either he escaped or we fear for the worst, which is not going to happen. Alright, it was a decent read. It had a very open ending to see what would happen next. So, yeah. Alright, next up, Batman 689. First off, Batman busts in. First off, again, hidden gambling ring. Dick Grayson comments that Bruce would just throw in some flash grenades, get everyone out, and leave a battering to let people know that he was there, still fear. But he's more of a showman. Shows out of nowhere, attacks everyone, gets through, attacks the guards. All at the same time, footage is being brought to Two-Face, who, according to his right-hand man Benny, he's getting a little obsessive over Batman. But Two-Face just tells him to keep trying to tells him to keep leaking Penguin's plans to Batman. And then Two-Face says that they need a new Ringer because their warp is dead. And yeah, basically, I think Two-Face actually knows that Dick Grayson isn't Batman. Then another moment with Alfred, where Alfred comments that that Bruce was always a shadow and that he was the shadow of a shadow, but he's very grateful that Dick enjoys the light. And Dick realizes that someone is trying to set him up, and that he has to keep a watch out for landmines. Meanwhile, Penguin's talking to Black Mask about getting him to do some distractions to get Batman off his back. So, burning building! Dick uses the hover abilities of the new Batmobile, puts it out with some foam, and then he's attacked by oh my god, a giant rock! Then more giant rocks attack the building, all being thrown by Clayface and the hired gun and the bodyguard Black Mask had a few scenes ago. Alright, again, Batman seems to be steady so far. I mean, there's nothing bad about it, but, this is still the first story that has Dick Grayson as Batman, so, hopefully it'll get better. Speaking of Batman, let's take a look at Tim Drake. He's in Anthropology Museum in Berlin, and he thinks he's found some evidence to prove that Bruce is alive, or that either help him with Ra's al Ghul or something, not sure. Then an alarm goes off alerting Berlin hero Wild Huntsman, in which dogs are sicked on Tim, which is kind of reminiscent of the opening scene of The Dark Knight. And then Tim's visiting Bruce's grave, where Wonder Girl appears. Next up, in Moscow, Lucius Fox calls out his daughter to apparently go find Tim, I believe, since he's worried about him. And Tim is fighting his way against the Huntsman. Then all of a sudden, the assassins Roz had to get Tim a couple of issues ago show up, saying that they're here to help him. And another flashback about how Tim says another League of Assassin member was killed. Tim's talking to Wonder Girl again in another flashback about about his first battle with Anarchy, Jason Todd, how it helped him get out to become Batman, but he went on a killing spree. And then the helmet with the anti-life equation. And then eventually Tim orders Ross to call off his men, but luckily he's able to take on Huntsman by himself, and then he tells Wonder Girl that Batman's alive and that he's not going to make the same mistake he did with Connor. When Connor died, it's different. And then Cassie calls and asks Dick to help Tim. Right. And then we've got Iraq. Then we go to Iraq, where Tim is welcomed by the gruesome threesome. So yeah, alright. I didn't initially get Red Robin because I just wanted to get it because I want to see how it would do so far, but I gotta say, this has been a very good story. I mean, I'll be honest and say that Tim Drake is probably my favorite of the four Robins. I mean, Dick's a close second, but, well, actually, I think Dick's my favorite, but Tim's my second favorite because he's independent. He made the choice to become Robin so that he could help Batman. He really wanted to help Batman, so, Alright, Red Robin, pretty good so far. If you haven't been reading it so far, the first story arc is almost over, so... Alright, one word should go with this until I make my decision on whether or not to keep the title. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here and get ready for part 2, which will be all the books I bought and themed to Blackest Night, so stay tuned.